uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You got Bomb Squad!
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know WCS back in the building. Hey, I just wanted to drop in and just talk a little bit about fight night. You know what I'm saying? How the evening has carried these events. The reason why I feel it's imperative to speak on a specific situation, because boxing fans once again demonstrates that they have a herd mentality. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They have a herd mentality, and regardless of what anyone wants to do, regardless of what a fighter is putting out, when you get these cliques that group up and they want to push the narrative that a fighter isn't who they thought they were when they was never supporting them, they're not going in here doing what these cats want them to do. We have a modern day cliche term where these individuals from afar, when they're in the comfort of their own home in the shade, looking at them, they call these fighters trash, man. They call these fighters trash. I was like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? How fighters are just, this term is just thrown around so loosely. Tonight, Jahi Tucker stepped in there and earned his 14th victory. The reason why he's on the thumbnail, because he's one of the most entertaining fighters in the sport. He's currently campaigning at 160 pounds, which is the middleweight division. But for me, I just had to draft it up and remind people that what he does, it doesn't look like it should be easy when you look at his paperwork. But for others, they're getting him confused with some other participants or his colleagues in the sport of professional boxing. They're getting it confused. For one, I don't think they was paying attention to when he initially split the ropes as a teenager and came in here and started his campaign as a professional fighter of 147 pounds, then moved up to 54, and then now he campaigns at 60. Okay? One thing to note, I'm going to show you some slides. I mean, some screen grabs. And the only thing I'm doing is comparing other fighters that are considered to be his compeers in the sport of professional boxing, that what you're saying he should be doing, others aren't doing it. Okay? You saying he should be doing this, he should be going in there. Every fighter is not a knockout artist. He should be getting them up out of it. He's 22 years of age, 14. Some fighters have knockout power, some don't. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. 16 professional fights. 16 professional fights. Comparing to certain fighters that have way above 15, 20, 25, 30. They're out there. They're out there. They're still making improvements. They don't come in here and have that electric boogie type performance. What I mean by electric boogie when it comes to Jahi is the fact that defense, people tend to purposely ignore defense. If he went in there and didn't get hit the entire time, swim without getting wet, somebody has something to say about it. Oh, he do too much moving around. You know, somewhat like they used to criticize Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. They used to criticize him for using that lateral head movement and being extremely evasive. But see, when it comes to Jahi, though, he has incredible hand speed, defensively minded, and he does have the power to get his opponent up out of there. Now, does fighters have imperfections? Yeah. But to be honest with you, I'm not here to talk about a fighter's imperfections because I'm not his trainer. All I know is if I'm looking forward to a Jahi Tucker being on deck, I know the fight's gonna be entertaining. Somehow, some way, he gonna make it entertaining. The shit he's doing at close quarters, slipping punches, moving, using his side movement, pivoting out. When he selects to put his punch combinations together and dress it up in a full tuxedo and bow tie, when he be landing his accuracy, his pinpoint accuracy, when he decides not to waste a volume of punches, but he lines his opponent up with some credible angles. I mean, it's beautiful work at the end of the day. Beautiful work. But I was around town today, and you have certain voices that I don't think they truly know who this cat is. I don't think they know who Tucker is. I don't know if they've been listening to a certain group of people. But the last time I checked, right, some fighters get a pass for being on the canvas. Tucker hasn't been on the canvas yet. Tucker has been hurt and fought through adversity. So you can't use he ain't been hurt and he been running. Who on here saying that Tucker is running? No one. You know what I'm saying? No one is saying he's running. But when you try to say that it's too much movement, he need to box more, well, you try to go in there without stretching and do what he's doing. You've become a spokesperson for Bengay and Icy Hot ASAP. Oh, man, I think I got a herniated disc. Oh, my God, my shit hurt. Oh, sciatica. Oh, that sciatica hurt so bad. I don't know why I tried to go in there and make a clip, a short reel on Jahi Tucker's defense. I think I pulled something. I'm going to have to call in for work tomorrow. That shit hurt, man. God damn. I'm going to have to go to Walgreens and get me a back brace right quick with some heating pad. It's not as easy as it looks. But I understand we in a modern day area where these dudes sit up here and try to minimize something great a fighter is great at. I mean, super great at. And how can that be considered great? It's not everybody. It's not a high percentage of fighters across the board that's moving and grooving like that. Now, the good thing about the Sweet Signs is that it comes with many different recipes, man. Boxing comes with many different recipes when it comes to the styles of fighters. I mean, I'm not telling you anything y'all should already know. I'm just making a point to remind people, when you putting all these expectations, these superficial, shallow, disingenuous expectations on a fighter, and you don't put them on other fighters and act like you don't have access to their paperwork, sometimes the value of a fighter is when somebody's willing to do the research. And then after they've done that research and they've been able to use their analogies properly and compare someone's body of work, their record jacket, their boxing ledger, and they can look at film and they can study film and see what the pluses and minuses, the pros and cons of this fighter comparable to some other fighter that they believe is much better, or someone that's in the same division that may be, at a certain point where you're saying, hey, so-and-so didn't do this. The complaint is Jahi Tucker go the distance all the time. I hear people complain about boxers that have low knockout percentages, but yet they're on here arguing that it's boxing. It's the Sweet Signs. We just seen Tevin Farmer and William Cepeda go the distance. Was anybody up there crying about what Tevin Farmer going the distance? Were they crying about William Cepeda, all those knockouts he got? Were they crying about him going the distance? Just please help me understand how I'm supposed to deliver this message. Because fighters go the distance all the freaking time, right? Then we just see Gary Antoine Russell go the distance with El Rayo, a fighter who has been stopped before by De Los Santos. Then you just see him go the distance with Gary Antoine Russell. So therefore, does that diminish or depletes Gary Antoine Russell's boxing fight code or his praising value as a fighter, all because Jose Valenzuela went the distance with him after being stopped before? Please help me understand. A fighter has been stopped before, but goes the distance with a fighter who, at a higher division, challenging for the title, never been knocked out, you know what I'm saying, has one loss on his record. He goes the distance with Antoine. So you trying to say Antoine Russell didn't do what he was supposed to do against El Rayo, or El Rayo had a good strategy to keep his distance and prevent himself from getting knocked out? I mean, the distance, it's not like it's a forbidden area, you know, a do not enter type of zone. Distance all the time happen in boxing. Somebody you may not know, I'm not sure if you know this person or not. he's rarely spoken on in the sport of boxing, but what about Israel Madrimov and Terrence Crawford? Didn't they just go the distance? What did they say about Crawford? They wanted to say, now I will highlight you for, you know, having all those knockouts at 147 pounds, but you didn't get it done against Israel Madrimov. Why y'all not sitting up here with your torches over there in Omaha, you know, asking Crawford, why you go the distance with Madrimov? So if you're not going to go over there and hold him accountable, why are you concerned about Jahi Tucker going the distance when he's going in there putting on a full-blown display? Now, of course, it's good to watch the fight on mute because commentary can be extremely biased sometimes. As we hear lately in the past several fights on Jahi Tucker, commentary when he was in there with the certain individuals that was ranked in the middleweight division, top 5, Francisco Varane. Jahi Tucker was dancing, swimming, gymnastics, all that shit. Varane was putting every bit of muscle. He was using every ounce of hemoglobin that he could possibly use to try to generate power to knock out Jahi Tucker. They had this man come down from 60 middleweight division, for which Jahi's campaigning at now, to when Jahi was freaking campaigning 154 pounds. They brought a top 5 ranked fighter down there to fight a fighter who wasn't even in the ranks. Who does that? Who accepts challenges like that from a much bigger fighter, higher division, and in the top 5 ranking of that sanctioning body? Who accepts challenges like that? Tucker. Tucker accepted challenges. And you know what? He beat the brakes off that dude. Yeah, and that's not the first time he beat the brakes. But what I'm saying, he went in there and gave a good account of himself, a great account of himself. And also, Francisco Varane has never been the same since that whooping that Tucker put on him. Not to mention, Nico Seknashvili, Xander Zayas' sparring partner, big, muscular, strong, big fighter. He was brought in to disperse of Jahi and send him off that one-man island out there to think about what he did to piss people off or whatever reason why they seem a bit perturbed. Ended up beating the goddamn jingle bells off that cat. And then at the end, gave one of the most classic one-liners that you'll ever hear in this modern era. He said, Zan, pick your fucking mans up. You would have thought slavery was back in effect and Jahi wasn't free. You would have thought Jahi popped up in a white neighborhood somewhere and grabbed the mic. You would have thought he violated some type of civil law act or some segregation act, Jim Crow law. This man calls Xander Zayas out at a press conference, politely him out. And ever since then, people act like they don't understand why the shade is as thick as it is. Let's be honest. Let's stop playing this game and trying to act like we don't understand why he ain't on the main card. Let's stop playing like politics don't exist in boxing. Let's stop pretending that fighters don't get blackballed in boxing. Let's stop playing. Stop trying to act like you're naive and you don't know anything about this stuff ever happening. See, the one thing about him calling out the golden child is that we've been here already. Boxing has its golden child. What they try to do to Devin? Devin pushes Lomachenko. Everybody else is pushes fighters, right? Push people all over the place. Nothing happened. Shit, Devin pushed Lomachenko. They hit him with a fine or something, or whatever they was trying to do over there, right? Out of all the fighters that get pushed, they have their golden child. Don't touch Lomachenko. Lomachenko want to take a Lomachenko vacation. Lomachenko takes a Lomachenko vacation, and everybody else just, that's in that sanctioned body has to wait till he come back. Y'all just scrap amongst each other until Lomachenko come back. Golden child. The only golden child this era that I felt that has absolutely earned his favoritism is Alexander Usyk. He's earned it, but we're not talking about him. Xander came in here, the youngest to sign with Top Rank. And Jahi seen him on his radar, from my understanding, my assumption. And they put Xander's freaking sparring partner in there who buzzed Jahi in the first round. And while I was ringside with my compeer, Shot News, we witnessed the shot landing. But also we witnessed when the second bell was ringing, we witnessed Seknashvili with a sly, clever, insidious smile on his face. Like, yeah, I'm about to knock you out. Oh, you thought it was gonna be easy. I think, Jahi's eyes, and it just pissed him off. From then on, he was a madman. If they wanted to make a remake of Mad Max and put Jahi in there as the goddamn main actor, they could have. He went ham on Nico. He went ham on Xander's sparring partner. And the reason why this should be put out there, because it's absolutely facts. When did it get to a point where a fighter can't call out another fighter and they're in the same division? When did this shit start taking place? Like, I can see, look at what T.O.'s doing. Has T.O. been blackballed yet? I mean, some people say, oh, they doing this, they doing that, they putting this fight in Times Square and all this shit, right? I told people about T.O. back in the day when he was trying to negotiate his higher purse for Lomachenko and shit like that. I don't blame him. But usually you get blackballed like that, talking about the promoter. Talking about the promoter and how they suck and all that. Somewhat like Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to sign an extension on that shit. So they kind of said, hey, we're gonna give you this opponent and put you here. But for Jahi to call out Xander back then, and it seems like he's getting punished for it. Then to go in the press conference and call him out, then call him out his name, didn't say anything crazy and reckless. But when you have that spark in you, that fire, sometimes in history, man, it's just not everybody is ready for it. It's just fucked up. Sometimes people are ahead of their time. When Jahi came here as a teenager, it was certain things that he did differently than a lot of fighters that you might see and know of that may be a more popular fighter. But you have to understand, when you go to the paperwork, all you got to do is just pay close attention. Let's look at this now. Let's look at this paperwork, okay? They want to talk about Jahi going the distance, right? Okay. Let's start with Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. We're talking about over 10 plus fights. This was like his 11th or 12th fight. I'm guesstimating, but I put this screen grab around their 10th plus fight. Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. fought a guy, 14 losses, 8 wins, 14 losses, and 2 draws. He's 22-4, 12 knockouts now. Do we see people drafting up these picket signs, working on their artist skills, and going up here protesting as to why Sugar Shane doesn't have more knockouts than his father? Why it wasn't in his blood? Why didn't the DNA, the chromosome threads link up the way they supposed to? No, y'all ain't doing that. Y'all ain't doing that because y'all don't care. Y'all don't care about it, man. Y'all just want to pick and choose who you want to single out. And you don't know no backstory because some of you cats don't follow. You don't go to fights. And then when a cat like me get on here and talk about it, you want to brush it off like it's just garrulous. Oh, he's just being loquacious. That's just frivolous talk. Once again, that's Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. right there. 22-4 and 12 knockouts. Are y'all clamoring to find out a way to get him more energy, more power in the ring, that he can have more knockouts, being his dad is Sugar Shane? Come on now. What about this guy? You know who this guy is, right? Denzel Bentley. You know who he is. He's up there, right? 21 victories, 3 defeats, been stopped 1 time already. 1 draw, 17 knockouts. Why isn't his knockouts 17, 20? My fault. We just seen Artur Beterbiev, who had a 100% knockout ratio, but went the distance with Bivol. Why wasn't y'all knocking on Beterbiev's door and say, why you went the distance? Why y'all wasn't criticizing Beterbiev for going the distance with Bivol? If this man had a 100% knockout ratio, why he couldn't go in there and knock out Bivol? Why? Because style make fights. Every fighter's opportunity under the bright lights is different. It takes 2 TPI, 2-person integrity, to go in here and make a boxing match. You're never going to see a boxing match where a person's in there with the right light shining at their back to create a shadow, and he get graded on his shadow and him. That's how they're going to grade round for round. I've never seen a fight like that. But you look at Bentley, 7 victories, 29 defeats. That's around 10 plus fights in his career. Losing records. 16 victories, 16 defeats. 6 victories, 16 defeats, and 3 draws. 25 years of age. Jahi Tucher at this point is 22 years of age. 6 victories, 16 losses, 3 draws. Go up there, fall a 10-1 guy, and then goes back down to fight a 7 victory, 29 defeats. And this guy's in the rankings, y'all. This boxer is in the rankings. He's 25 years of age. I'm not saying anything. I'm just putting it out there that he's 25 bouts in. He's 25, my mistake, 25 bouts in. And I think he might be 30. I think he might be 30 if I'm not mistaken. 25 bouts in. He's in the rankings at the middleweight division. But yet, over his first 10 plus fights, he has a fighter up there, has 7 victories, 29 losses. What about this guy right here? Yeah, that's a more familiar name, right? Jump off of that. Oh, clap it up. We got a familiar name, Khamzat Shiraz. Hey, Khamzat Shiraz, man, what is he looking like? Khamzat is ranked number 2 in the WBC. He's the one that just went over there against Carlos Adames, and he didn't look what people assumed he would look like, right? But they gifted him with a draw, correct? So Khamzat Shiraz Shiraz, 21 victories, 0 defeats, 1 draw with 17 knockouts. Why doesn't Hamzat have 21 victories, 21 knockouts? Because the shit doesn't work that way. Why wasn't this tall, rangy, very popular rising contender able to go in there and disperse of Carlos Adames? Why? Why wasn't he able to go in there and disperse of Carlos Adames? Because style make fights, right? We got a young hitter like Hamzat, and he's supposed to win in there and got the job done. And unfortunately, the shit didn't go down like that. Carlos Adames, who was elevated at the time where they stripped Jamal Charlo. This man is 30 years old and put on one of the best performances of his boxing career. 24 victories in, 1 defeat, 1 draw with 18 knockouts. Did Carlos Adames, who sits at a 75% knockout percentage, did he go in there and stop Hamzat? I just want your answer. Did he go in there and stop Hamzat? He did not, right? But look, Hamzat is 25 years of age, y'all. Why couldn't he go in there and beat up the older guy and Carlos Adames? He's 25 years of age. 6'3", 75-inch reach. Why aren't y'all saying, hey, he got a knockout against Tyler Denny, and then he had a knockout against Austin Williams, okay? Then he had a knockout against Liam Williams. He had a knockout against Trobnanov, and then Wilson Bent, Francisco Torres. The list goes on and on. So why wasn't he able to go in there and get Carlos Adames up out of there? You have to ask yourself that question when it comes to Jahi. Why y'all keep on saying that he should go in here and be knocking cats out? When did he ever come off and say he was knocking at everybody? This man has 6 knockouts, and you hear these cats over here talking like this dude is trash or something. He will beat the brakes off your favorite fighter. I hear people talking about, this recycle bin type language all the time. And I don't like the sparring stories. I don't. But don't you see a translation like how he goes in there and does what certain fighters are unwilling to do? I don't want to mention no names because I don't want to really rub people the wrong way, because some fighters have been known to jump so high out the ring you can see the bottom soles of their shoes. Some fighters like Jahi can fight close quarters and still slip punches, mere inches in timing, and then deliver counter shots with pinpoint accuracy. If you watch the fight today, he threw a left hook like 3 different areas. Simultaneously, he threw a left hook to the body, up top. I mean, when you have the crowd saying ooh and an ah, but the commentary is like, yeah, that's Jahi. I like seeing Jahi. But you know what? We're looking for perfection. When did boxing ever start looking for perfection, y'all? The sport has been imperfect for quite some time, especially when you talk about styles. Right? How bad? Now see him, how mad? Prince. Who has his style? We're not talking about before he linked up with Barrera, but who has his style? Who had Emmanuel Augustus style? There's a lot of people being compared to Floyd, but it's one Floyd. It wasn't too many things eccentric about Floyd's style, but he did make it look pretty sometime. And if you look at certain areas of Jahi's game, a lot of fighters wouldn't even want to take that risk being on the inside that close. A lot of fighters wouldn't want to fight off the ropes like that. Yeah, there's some imperfections. But there's also imperfections in a lot of fighters. But y'all selectively choose who you want to lay the criticism on heavy with instead of just keeping it a 1,000. Y'all want to sit up here and big up your favorite fighter and then act like they don't have any flaws. Of course they do. Come on, name, I'm not saying every fighter, but name, your favorite fighter that you think is more exciting than Jahi Tucher. We're not talking about names, okay? I'm talking about that you really want to see. Because some of you have favorite fighters, but yet you have this in your language. I got to see what he's going to do next time if he fights so-and-so. Well, I got to see what he's going to do if they ever fight that other guy that's a champion. Oh, I got to see when he steps in there and do this. Well, I got to see who he going to fight next, if he going to move up or they going to stay in the same division. Everybody wants to see. I want to see. So if you still unsure about praising the shit out of your favorite fighter, and just giving them the green check mark, not the blue, but the green check. Every time you crack your mouth open to talk about them, that means they have imperfections. You know what I'm saying? And don't listen too much at the commentary because it's just straight bias sometimes. And I'm gonna go against the grain. What I say fighters shouldn't be freaking calling other fighters. And this commentary sometimes, a lot of times, is trash. Non-recyclable trash. Period. Not just with Tucker, but with plenty of fighters that they're not trying to push heavy. You're talking about a human being that has experience in the sport of boxing. They have seen several dozen fights if they wasn't a fighter themselves. And then they come up here and speak as if they can just turn it on and turn it off just like that. They'll turn it off for Tucker, and then they'll go ahead and turn it on for somebody that's in the same promotion and act like they're just doing, oh my God, this is what I'm talking about. The people's been wondering where this has been. Here you go, people. It's right there. Come on, man. Come on. Man, that shit is crazy. That shit is straight up wild. Real talk. A lot of your freaking fighters that you see on here, man, they're not even willing to take the risk like Tucker. Well, if I have anything to say about Tucker, man, it's not how you start, bro. You know what I'm saying? Once you get started, people's blessing come at different times on the clock. Just because you haven't struck that day off on the calendar, you know what I'm saying, for what people expect you to have, at least understand they are expecting you to get to that point. Everybody get to that destination at different times. That's all I'm saying. Everybody get there at different times. This hasn't really, when it comes down to boxing, it's a non-regulated sport, but people act like they want to regulate the comments. This is a non-regulated sport, and you act like you want to go here and talk all cordial, about your favorite fighter, but yet when it comes to other fighters, you just say trash. Oh, they trash. Trash. But if you was asked, say, hey, since that fighter trash, you want to volunteer to go in there? Just go one round. Let's just say 60 seconds. Just one round of 60 seconds. You wouldn't do it. Because now you'll get all political. See, this is where you're crossing the line. See, you're crossing the line. I'm an avid supporter of boxing. But when it bleeds over into the streets and you want to snatch people off and force them in the ring, that's where I draw the line. It gets a bit unhealthy for me. That's why I draw the line. I got the freedom of speech to say what I want to say on social media. Why is it agitating you so much? It's just the freedom of speech. But y'all calling these fighters trash, man. Y'all acting like y'all would be willing to get in there if they had on 25-ounce gloves. Look, if they stuck their hand up 2 pillowcases, stuffed it with feathers, and duct taped the wrist. Y'all still wouldn't get in there. That's still the potential. All this Vaseline I got on my face. Feathers been known. Once the water get to them, feathers have been known to come sharp, you know what I'm saying, very sharp, lethal objects. You know what I'm saying? They talk about this type of weaponry in the Orient, if you know what I mean. Japanese specialty. They come up here with all these fucking excuses with the fighters that they call them trash, but they will not get in the ring. All I'm saying, don't sit up here and listen to the commentary and let them push your narratives and shit, and you out here looking crazy. You out here looking crazy because you call yourself a hardcore boxing fan, but you calling a fighter trash. And you wouldn't say it to their face, man. Just because a fighter with 6 knockouts, you trying to say they trash? That's crazy, bro. That's insanely crazy right there. Let me get to this dang chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to CW, man. Christopher White in the building, man. What it do, Chris? What it do, man? Salute to you, bro. Say Jahi Tucker, master performance. Yeah, man. Man, give Electric Boogie his credit, man. He danced to the beat of a different tune. You know what I'm saying? We all seen it. It's electric. Some boogie, woogie, woogie. I mean, they don't know, man. They want to be in denial, selective amnesia. Man, they know what it is, man. What has he done? Has he been arrested on a high-speed chase? Did he get caught stealing some shades out of a high-end store in NYC? I mean, what are you mad at? Like, what are you mad at? These boxing fans, I swear, they have more moments in a month than some of the pronouns that's supposed to have that shit naturally. Hey, shout out to Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease, in the building. What it is, Gumbo. Why is TB so critical of Jahi? Just what I said. Jahi pretty much called out their golden boy, Xander Zayas, man. And then, you know, they put the orders out there. If you go back to Jahi's fight when he beat, that was the first layer right there. Xander Zayas, freaking sparring partner. That was the first layer of many obstacles that they put up there, I guess, in hope of Jahi faltering by the wayside and getting beat up. I mean, big, strong fighters, too. And you look at how many fights Jahi has, right? Let me go back a bit, if you can be patient. He fought Nico Segnashvili with 9 professional fights now. Now, people are going to look at it and say, well, Nico, he only had 9 professional fights. Yeah, but Nico had fought as high as 177 pounds. Yeah, Nico had been up there as a light heavy at one point in his career, y'all. You know, man, come on, bro. Come on, man. You have to be inside the arena and see the faces along with the audio of the criticism, and it kind of stays with you different. You know what I'm saying? It's like a stench. You never forget the stench when you get too close to it. It never leaves you. If you think about it, your mind can process that moment just as if you was there. That's real life. The senses that you have, you think about something that resonates you in a certain way, you can kind of get a smell of that moment. Real talk. You had to be there when all the criticism was coming down about, you know, all of a sudden Jahi Tucker, everything he does, it's almost like he can't box no more. It's almost like he had a clone in there. They found out he had another brother that he was sneaking into the fights, the first half of the fight, and then when halftime, they sneaked Jahi in there from under the ring apron like some WWE shit. You would think this man, pulled off the biggest stunt ever. You would have thought he was sending Molly in there to fight. We found out that Jahi's younger brother, yes, $1 Million Molly was coming in here. Somehow, some way, he fooled us. I guess it was all the Vaseline on his face. And he was fighting for his brother while his brother rested up. And then, somehow, some way, I don't know what it is, they snuck, Jahi snuck up the stairs, whatever. We checked our cameras. We don't see any sign of it. But somehow we look in the ring. Yeah. 2 different fighters. Arnold Brown in the building. What's good? What's good? Jahi, he was hitting him with that left hook all night. Yeah, man, pretty, right? Man, come on. They talk about the sweet signs. You talk about technique, tools within that technique. Why we got dudes complaining and just encompassing an entire fighter's style, their brand, their name, where they're residing in boxing as trash? Man, this new generation, boy, I feel sorry for their kids, bro. People might take offense to that. I feel sorry for their kids, bro. I just feel sorry in general for this younger generation. Because the way they jump on the bandwagons, it's almost like they don't even process whether to think for themselves. Of course, it's not 100%. Of course, it's not in its totality a consensus, a global consensus. But I'm saying, when you listen to these community of voices on here, the way they chop down and trash fighters' names so quickly, as if they don't even care. They have their favorite fighters, and in between time, if their favorite fighter's not fighting, right, they talk about shit that their favorite fighter might be doing. Well, I think so-and-so might be heading up to the smoothie shop because he sent out a tweet. He said, blueberry or raspberry. So either one, he got to be at the movies or he got to be at a local smoothie shop where they have slushies or something. This shit is crazy, man. Yeah, for sure, man. He always wanted to smoke. But unfortunate for him, man, he called out one of their golden childs, 2 young hitters in the game, and he couldn't get the fight. A lot of guys don't even want to do it. They want to be friends. A lot of guys don't even want to fight somebody else in their own promotion that's talented. They're equally talented. They want to wait and build up the fight. Let me get 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 and a half, 24, 25, 26, 38. Can I get 31, 31.5, 35, 35, 36, 36.7, 37.5, 38. Oh, we're sitting at 50. Is the fight good enough now? Okay, great. They become auctioneers in this bitch. I'm going to fight so-and-so when I got 52 wins. And I think by then I should be ready. I mean, the fight would have been marinated perfectly for the fight fans. A lot of them will be old now, and they have time to come to the fight because they're retired. They're getting Social Security. Yeah. It's time. It's perfect. Andrew Charles in the building. What's good, man? Jahi had a really good move, man. He looks super healthy, prime shape. Yeah, man. He looked spectacular out there, bro. Like, man, his moments when he was letting his hands fly with them combinations, you have to ask yourself, damn, are you not watching this Commonwealth champion? Dude was a Commonwealth champion that he was in there with. Dude was big. Man, he had him looking like a bobblehead, bro. I thought they was going to have to stop the fight so they can put some more replacement springs in his neck. It seems like his neck was going to come off and shit. Jahi was popping him with them uppercuts. Accuracy, bro. Williams was game. Bro wasn't anywhere tough. Yeah, Williams was game, though. He was game like he's supposed to be. Dude was game. let me show you something, because I left Shiraz up there for a minute because he just came up with a draw. And they just act like the shit don't supposed to happen. But let me show you this other guy right here, right? Okay. Let me show you Jahi's. He just had his 14th victory. And that was his 16th professional fight. But if you look at his fights, he has no losing records on his boxing ledger. None. He has no fighters with losing records. Since day one, he has no fighters on his resume with losing records. None. So all I'm suggesting is you have every right to comment, man. I'm not talking about any of you cats that want to come in and do what you do. All I'm saying is you have accessibility for a search engine. If that's not your favorite fighter, just do some research in comparison, just a little bit of homework, and formulate your data. So when you're in a community of people and these names start to pop up in a certain division, and maybe that fighter is on the fight card coming up or whatever, somebody might mention it. Don't be so quick to say, no, so-and-so's trash. Why? Oh, he always go the distance. But there's a lot of fighters that go the distance. It's fighters that have knockouts in a row, consistent knockouts. They end up going the distance. How many times you got to hear style make fights? Look, I'd rather hear you say style make fights rather than saying a fighter's trash. I mean, just straight up trash because they go the distance. That's just wow. But he's 13-1-1, 6 knockouts, and somehow, some way, man, people act like that's contagious. No, or should I reverse that? They act like it's infectious. They act like if they talk about a fighter who has 6 knockouts, oh, he's affected me. I can't talk about him, man. I ain't gonna be able to stay on track with my knowledge, man. How can I support somebody with 6 knockouts? I don't have him in my top 100. I don't have no fighters with that lesser knockouts. But you're not going off the entertainment value, the sweet science. That's crazy. Shout out to the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience. Team Tucker official on deck. What it do, Mike? We got some things to work on. When he say we, this is the link that got it all started with Shaw News, the media marketing agent, and a lot of other hats that's worn behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? The UGK of media. He's done trying to, remind you all of that. He's doing his own thing. He say we, him and Team Tucker, got some things to work on. But we beating solid guys, no tomato cans on this resume. But these guys have no clue on boxing. But hey, what do I know? It's a lot of fighters that's on other people's resumes, and they see, and I hear y'all too. Y'all will watch a fight or one of your favorite fighters that you hype up, you know what I'm saying, giving that social media fellatio for free. And they say, oh man, so-and-so look good, but you don't even know their opponent. Nobody's mentioned their opponent. Nobody has mentioned their opponent, not in the rankings or nothing. There and say, oh man, so-and-so look good. You see when they did this? But, you want to look at Jahi Tucker and just him, you want to critique. He fought a Commonwealth champion tonight. Dude was big middleweight. Look at his last several opponents. They've been heavy hitters from 154 up to 160. I mean, come on, man. Come on, bro. Y'all boxers who's in the sport, Hall of Fame, how the hell you can say, well, I'm just gonna, punch my ticket. Literally. I got the orders. I'm gonna punch my ticket. I'm going over to the dark side. Now, I don't know boxing. Like, it was mad criticism that they had about TB too. But I guess he forgot all that now that he put that jacket on. They say when you put that jacket on, somehow you have memory reset. Someone like Men in Black. That red light come on, and they forget shit. TB act like he didn't have discrepancies. He just know that he had slurred speech from fighting Provodnikov that he can use as a freaking talking point in a sidebar conversation. Yeah, I had slurred speech, and yeah, he'll tell you that he had slurred speech from fighting the wrong fight just to please the crowd. But see, the difference between him and Jahi probably would have slipped and turned the shit out of goddamn Provodnikov and had him looking like a ballerina. I mean, styles make fights, bro. I'm just saying, style make fights. You selected to sit on the ropes and get punished, amongst other things. But yet, when Jahi be doing his shit, hey, man, all we're looking for from Jahi, only Jahi, okay? Only Jahi. Nobody else. None of these other guys in here. They're sipping on that spoonful of goddamn pure, thick, freshly made ragu with parsley. Yeah, spread that sauce on those meatballs. Yeah, it's Stromboli night. Keep feeding them. It's Stromboli night, goddammit. Fighting solid comp for sure, back to back. For sure, man. For sure. Talk to him, Andrew. Later for all that. Boxing community, no jealous fan zone. Boxing community talk about the motor. We went 10 strong rounds out the gate. Huh? What? We built for deep waters. We drowning them in the sauce experience. Motion talk. If you don't know who Jahi Tucker is, just check him out, man. Check out some of his highlights. That's another thing I didn't mention. His highlight reels. He got some crazy highlight reel moments out there, man. But, he got 6 knockouts. So people want to say, oh, he didn't get a knockout. Oh, well, must I help you remember certain things? It's a certain heavy hitter that's been the distance twice already, but he goes the distance with Lamont Roach, and y'all up here praising and jumping. Hey, man, Tank doesn't have it because he went the distance with Roach. Well, he's been the distance twice already. Man, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Roach, 130-pound champion. Man, get out of here. The fuck out of here, man. Styles make fights, man. And even Tyson couldn't knock out everybody. Every time he hear the name Buster, what? You said, did somebody say Buster? He's here? No, Mike. Somebody said they bust a pimple on their face. Oh, my fault. Must be the mushrooms. Man, get out of here, yo. Shout out, Pilma. Salute to you. Big shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building, man. I see you. Team Tucker King, Richard Sauce, Boxing 17. In the league, bright lights. We in the elite fight game. Business stats over views. Post your motion. I'm here. Trust the process. Yeah, man. Under the bright lights, man. What they call him, LeBron James of the game. His first fight was under the bright lights. It's just crazy. Televised. How can you go from being televised, some of the best highlight reels, to them trying to just put you in a goddamn cave like a troglodyte? They try to make Jahi Tucker part of the ancient what's that? Damn, I forgot that tribe. God damn it. They try to put him back there when they was building the pyramids or something, man. Like they found an old goddamn tomb or something. How can you go from the bright lights to them trying to just put you deep on the non-televised card? It's not like your skills have declined. You're only 22 years of age. Crazy. This shit is crazy, yo. And then I know I have, some snitches on here grabbing links, snitching. Hey, man, Tim. Hey, man. He don't want to talk about you, Tim. PB. I ain't going to say nothing. I just dropped this link for you, man. You might want to check it out. He over there talking about the TV. I just thought you might want to see it. They over there talking about Jahi Tucker. It's a 10% serious increase only. Shout out to Conquest in the building, man. Salute to you. Peace. They got to speak on that ish. and make some noise on the BS. Man, the shit they was doing, that biased commentary, that's not the first time I heard biased commentary. But why so much on this particular fighter? He came in under the bright lights, but yet you dimmed him. You dimmed the lights, all because he called the fighter out. He's not the first one to ever call out a fighter. Fighters call each other out all the time. I want to fight that fighter. Yeah, I want to fight that fighter. When all these fighters was calling out Canelo, oh, my bad, Canelo won signed over there to that promotion. I get it. Well, why the promotion that was over there then blackballed him? All these fighters that was calling out Canelo, why they didn't get blackballed? Why they're not on the shelf? I'm just curious why they're not on the shelf if they called out the cash cow. Xander wasn't the cash cow. He wasn't even, did anything. He's finally getting a shot at Fundora. But if you saying, no, it's not the time yet. I appreciate you being a hard charger now. I appreciate your motivation to go ahead and fight the best. I appreciate it, but not right now. Okay, I could have respect that. But he says, Xander, come pick your fucking mans up. Goes to the press conference, calls out Xander. People act like he went in there and called Xander by his middle name or something. Hey, how did you know that? You stole some documents out my room? You stole some passports? How did you know my middle name? Man, come on, man. They had like goddamn Jahi and Xander was in the same freaking grade school together, man. And Jahi was taking his pizza on pizza day. I don't get it, man. How can you blackball somebody for calling out? That's just like me not looking at the NBA games too much because you got a child, right? When I was growing up, you got 6'8", 7 footers, and we know very well they was gonna be playing in the paint. The reason why I really don't touch the NBA today because you have dudes that's 9 feet tall taking 3-pointers. Taking 3-pointers. And when I ask people why, hey man, it's preserve. The longevity, to preserve the body of these guys. They put so much money into these guys. So you're saying them not down low banging, doing post-up moves and shit. You saying they're going to get more injuries down low. So it's better for them to be up top. Bringing the ball up the court. You 12'8". You bringing the ball up the court. Talking about preserving and basically reducing injuries. Man, that's why I don't watch it. That's why I don't watch it, bro. Boxing get to a point where you pick and choose. Then it comes to certain promotions, man. You look at them, it's like, damn, bro, you fuck with them, but then you think about how they fucking with a specific fighter, and you can't understand why. Why are you declining? Why are you preventing forward motion? Why did you halt or impede the progress? And not just impede the progress. Like, see, this is the wild part about the package. It's not like they left the motherfucking package on the baggage claim and they went and got in their ride and left. I said, oh shit, man. We drove 3 hours. You got to go back and get the bag. We forgot our luggage. No. They brought the luggage around. They gave him some hard ass opponents. They brought the luggage. They made sure he was gonna carry that motherfucker. They brought the damn opponents on deck. That's not the progress motion that I'm talking about. You're giving the man tough opposition, but yet there's no significant reward to basically give him the exposure when he's out here fighting the tough opposition. And I know, especially down here in Georgia, I know there's some people in the background, shaking their head, picking their nose, you know what I'm saying, really working on their booger diet. And I understand. I get it. But all I'm saying is, if you're going to give a man the opposition, put him on prime time like you did initially when he came in the sport. That's all you have to do. Just give him the same light. Move him the way you have moved some of these other fighters. That's all I'm saying. Why put him in there with these tough-ass opposition? And then you say, oh, we got to check your bag. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's nothing in here for our concern. And once they open the bag, why did you fold your jeans like this? Why do you have your hair products on the right side when, that's not the right side dominant? It's when you open your suitcase. The right side should be right there to your right. Okay? What do you have fruit snacks in here for? Where did you get those? Are those exotic fruit snacks? They start examining everything he does in the ring as if they never seen him do the shit when he initially was under the bright lights. That's my problem. That's one of my bases for the argument. You still giving him heavy opposition, keeping him deep on the undercard, and then you want to sit up there and talk about, hey, man, I don't know why he throws that punch like that. I just seen one of their favorite fighters up there fighting with his lead hand down by his kneecap. I didn't hear not one bit of criticism. Well, I know why he's doing that. Yeah, I know why he has his lead hand down by his kneecap. Just in case his opponent comes in too hot, he can fake like he's going to throw the right hand, but he's going to disguise that knee that's coming behind it, almost like giving the Nick Ball effect. You know what I'm saying? Kick him dead square in the nuts. Yeah, that's what boxing's doing now. You saw Nick Ball, he kicked him in the ass, and hey, he can disguise that knee real good. If his opponent's coming in too hot, trying to push him and bully him around the ring, he just knee him in the nuts. That's what you do. Shout out to Carlos Rosado with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. One love to your brother for your support of the channel. WCS salute, to be honest. I don't know what's considered logic, comprehension, and common sense anymore with some things that come out of folks' mouth. Shaking my head, Team Tucker. Yeah, man, I'm on board with that. But you see one thing, Carlos, I don't try to shake my head like I'm supposed to figure this out. I'm not trying to figure it out. It's like you would be troubleshooting to infinity, trying to figure out why this particular, community are so critical of fighters. And they talk so big. You know what I'm saying? These dudes talk so reckless. They sit up here and be trying to line other content creators up for fades outside of social media. But it never happened. You got whole ass niggas showing up in your neck of the woods trying to act like, oh, I don't see you standing there. Oh, trying to line people up. You have people that call fighters trash. And knowing damn well they wouldn't even go do a day or two training with them. They wouldn't even go running. They wouldn't even get worked out. They wouldn't even do 3 rounds of mitts, 2 rounds of mitts, 1 round of mitt. They wouldn't go through the rigorous training regimen that these fighters be going through in fight camp. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't sacrifice themselves to just be filmed and say, yes, I was one of the ones that was calling these fighters trash, but I showed up. I was invited to show up at their camp, and I'm going to be here for at least 72 hours. So y'all wish me luck. And then when the camera rolling, they up there backed up in a corner. You can't make me do any more reps. This is hazing. This is inhumane. I'm calling the CDC. I don't think your gym is clean. I feel sick to my stomach. They'll come up with all sorts of shit. I got the stomach virus, stage 8. They're fine anyway. They haven't even been there 45 minutes yet. Man, this is inhuman. No, this is not the way boxers should train. No. No. I don't support this type of behavior. No. You're trying to kill me. All I wanted to come by and get some training. But this is training. This is what the boxers go to. The same boxers that you was calling trash, this is what they go through. This is only the warm-up. But, man, we did exercises. We're on a 5-mile run, but you didn't go through the 5 miles. You didn't complete the run. And we know you're not in shape yet. But you're in the gym now. We made sure you was hydrated. We made sure you had nutrition, food in your body, things to, fuel your body up to give you that energy. But yet you're still crying like a bitch. So what you want to do? Are you going to finish the workout? Or are you going to get on the bus? See, that's not going to happen here, because these people that talk that trash shit, they'll be talking about their constitutional rights. Real talk. They'll be talking about their constitutional rights, yo. I'm not bullshitting you. They'll be up there talking about their constitutional rights. I'm not bullshitting you, bro. But appreciate that Carlos Rosado in the building, man. Thanks for donating to the channel. 10 9-point guards. For real, right? Them tall ass mofos be bringing the ball. I want to see that shit. I want to see the post game. Let Steph and all them guys handle that. You taller than a motherfucker, man. I mean, god damn, you up there bringing the ball up the court. Doing 1 foot damn three-pointers, floaters and shit. Man, get out of here. I don't know about reboot, Carlos. I don't think you can reboot, because it's called cookies. You know what I'm saying? It's called data history. Some people don't even clear their history. And if you don't clear your history, some of the same results find their way back up when you're typing. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it works. Some people never clean their cookies or wipe their cookies or their register out. They just continue to work as they work on their PCs. But that's a good point you made. When you had that fake Christian flabbergasted, he ain't know how to act afterwards. It's funny you mention that, because, I tell people, even with adults, you should, you've been living long enough. Everybody's energy is not to be met. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't trying to meet his energy. I was just trying to get him annoyed. And that's what I did. He got so annoyed, he started imitating what he felt was a black guy talking. And when people imitate how black guys, it's hilarious, bro. It's just, it's so funny. Because look, they're so much at a point in who they are in life, they have to totally change up. Just like I be imitating country people on here sometimes, they have to totally change up. So can you imagine, right? You going around town and you're trying to sound like somebody that that's black. That's just like me walking in there. Hey, first and foremost, I want to welcome myself. Okay, I heard everything about you. Only good words. But I want that Angus beef burger. Yeah, I want that 4-ounce Angus beef. Throw some taters on there. Yeah, throw some taters. And, yeah, you got some goddamn pig feet up in there. Oh, you don't have that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. It'll be too much, bro. It'll be too much. But shout out to Jahi Tucker for doing this thing. For putting on a spectacular performance. You just have to be patient, man, and let the spiritual side of things, guide you where you need to go. I'm not going to be cliche and bring God in. Whoever you spiritually worship, whoever that may be, never get frustrated to the point where you doubt where you're supposed to be in this game. Not everybody is there initially, right off the back, 40-yard dash. You clocking great times. No, sometimes it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And the good thing that's on your side for Jahi is that he's 22 years of age. He's youthful. He's entertaining, mad skills. And this situation is not permanent. That's the one thing about this situation is not permanent. I can tell you about a fighter who's in one bad situation, then got another bad situation, and now it seems like his wings are spread now, where he can get some big fights and get some notoriety. You know who I'm talking about. But they was on the shelf for legal reasons. Jahi is not in that situation. But when his day come, when that contractual agreement is done, then we have to see what's his next move. You know what I'm saying? Because look, he's gonna be a star on somebody else's platform. He's gonna be a star like he was when he came on here and people was talking about it. Hey, Jahi Tucker, he was all over here, but people turn their back on him all because they don't see him on the main cards. Come on, man. The man went in there and beat up Sek Nashvili, beat up Francisco Barone. You know what I'm saying? Really won the Nicholas Flash fight. But, you know, shout out to Nicholas. He's still doing his thing at 47. If you look at these fighters, bro, ever since they stepped in there with Jahi, they ain't the same. Francisco Varone, I seen him get beat up down here in Atlanta. And I was definitely going back there for an interview. You know, he was beat up so bad. I no interview. No interview. He wasn't giving no interviews. He ain't been the same since that ass whooping. I don't know where Nico at. I guess, you know, he's gonna be locked into a fight camp to help Xander get ready for Sebastian Fundora. I guess that's gonna be it. I'm just saying, I'm guessing. I'm guessing now. I'm guessing. Real talk. But y'all hold it down, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up as always, man. Go over there and support Jahi if you ain't, you know, found him on IG. Tucher Gen. You know what I'm saying? Support the team. You know, Shaw News, the Sauce Experience. You know, he told you what his consultation fee was. He's in the game. You know, check him out if you need some consulting. That's another thing in this community. They don't like somebody, but yet, you know, they try to tag in a fighter that they link to, like they don't like the fighter too. That's a herd mentality. Real talk. But y'all keep on doing what you're doing. Be safe out there. Continue to support the channel. And shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game.